Yo, what is going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day today. My name is Miles. Let's get right into the video. But before we do, click like, click subscribe right now in 3, 2, 1. Now, in today's video, I wanted to talk about some skill-based matchmaking news that we have coming from Twitter. Now, first off, before I do, I want to show you guys all of these complaints right here. We have just a list of people that goes on and on and on complaining about skill-based matchmaking. I'll leave it playing on screen. You guys are more than welcome to read all of these, but the list goes on. There's so many people, and I'm sure you guys can come up with your own opinions as to why skill-based matchmaking is so damaging to the game. But let's be honest with ourselves. Number one, obviously skill-based matchmaking needs to be in the game at least slightly. I'm not saying that it's really perfect right now or that it's even good whatsoever, but it needs to be in the game for some players. However, I think it's way too harsh on the good players, and it makes it almost unplayable for people like me that used to be really good but now suck and are washed. And now that crossplay has been announced, it's kind of out of the picture of people complaining about it. People know it's coming, and one of the things that I think really is holding on so strong is skill-based matchmaking and solos. And the worst thing about skill-based matchmaking, in my opinion, for Apex is exactly what Johnny FPS says here right on Twitter. He says, "Why am I fighting a 3-man stack Preds in Apex pubs with my friend who has a KD of 0.30. So it makes you wonder, is it a skill-based matchmaking problem specifically, or is it actually a problem with queuing solo players with full stack queued players? And now I think it honestly is a little bit of both, because it's not just full stack queued players that I always get that are just 3-stacking pubs. Sometimes it's just that and they're kind of casual players, but a lot of times the people that are 3-stacking in pubs for whatever reason seem to be really high-level Apex Predator players, players with the 4K, players with the 20 bomb, players with the Apex Predator badge, and players who have like 30,000 kills. And I'm just like, why are you even 3-stacking pubs? You're good enough to just kill everyone by yourself. What's the purpose of this? So my solution for this is easily just put 3-stack queued players in more lobbies with other 3-stack players, maybe even 2-stack, but leave the solo players alone to play with more casual players, play with other people who are solo queuing. You know, there are so many people playing Apex. Surely there's enough people to allow a full lobby of solo queuers, maybe a few duo queuers, but I just don't feel like it's necessary to put 3 stacks in the same lobby as solo queuers. Now, the next problem, is there really enough players on all platforms to do this? I know console players have plenty of players, but does PC really have the amount of player base to support this idea? Then you move on to ranked. Does each rank level have enough players to do this? No, they do not. The problem is so many things are leading to another. One thing that we really need to fix a lot of things is crossplay. Crossplay will fix slow queue times in ranked. It will fix diamond players having to play against pred players and master players. And then possibly it could even fix the situation of skill-based matchmaking having more room to be tweaked and more room to be fixed. Now let's move on to the tweets that someone tweeted actually at a Respawn developer talking about skill-based matchmaking. This has been going around for a couple of weeks now, and the SBMM guy on Twitter said to MRays, "Just so you're aware, we don't like SBMM in the game. It's pointless when there's a ranked mode. If people won't play ranked, maybe give them more of an incentive to make it more of a ranked mode instead of a grind mode." The last sentence of that tweet, for whatever reason, makes so much sense to me, even though it wasn't worded properly. Basically what he's saying is, like, in Apex, you literally have to be full sweat, full grind to rank up in the Diamond, Apex Predator lobbies and Master lobbies. You can't just like solo queue. Unless you're like Shiv, you can't just solo queue and dominate the entire lobby. But other games like Valorant, like Rocket League, you can solo queue ranked and not sweat so hard and actually have fun, actually rank up, actually do good. And it just ends up working so much better and makes the player retention so much better, in my opinion. I don't really have a strong addiction to wanting to play competitive Rocket League anymore like I used to, but I still find myself hours a day getting on Rocket League to play ranked, simply because the rank system is so good. You can confidently solo queue and go higher in the rank and rank up and do really well in all of your games, because mostly your teammates will learn how to play around you. They will be at your level, so they'll understand your play style, and that's just so absent from Apex. If you're a diamond player, a lot of times for whatever reason you're going to get platinum players on your team. If you're an Apex Predator player, you're going to get diamonds on your team that can't compete compete with the Apex Predators. So the solo queuing aspect is so bad, and because so many people love to play by themselves, they don't like have to go out there and get a full squad, and because getting a full squad that will consistently play with you is so hard to do, people just learn to quit and move on from Apex. And I feel like the main thing that they need to work on in tweaking SBMM is find a way to make ranked solo queuable, if that's even a word. I think solo queuing needs to be really treated properly for ranked and even for casuals. He also followed up the tweet saying, I have no idea if you're the guy who does analysis stuff for SBMM, but if you are, you're doing all of us an injustice, and there will always be ways to go around the system, and people will abuse it anyways. We don't want to ranked modes. Now, Ray actually replied to this saying, hey SBMM guy, I appreciate the feedback. Really, the intention of a matchmaker is to give you a better, fairer match, and it turns out that's not easy in a BR. So like I said, in relation to Rocket League and Valorant, I can understand why it's easier for those games because it's so many less people. But in BR, obviously, it's going to be a lot more complex. You got so many people, and you also don't have crossplay, so it's going to limit the player base on each platform. And he says, so for what it's worth, we're trying to increase justice, precisely the opposite of what you messaged me. So it's obvious that they are working on something. We just don't really know what it is entirely. But when you think about the biggest complaints that Apex has ever had, crossplay, duos, solo still hasn't came, but they at least tried it. They at least gave it a chance. But you had duos, you had crossplay, you had ranked. All of these things eventually came, just very slowly. So I think that they will give SBMM a fix. It's just going to take some time and some moderation and tweaks here and there. But I do think they will focus one thing first on the solo queuers and 3-stack people that play on pubs and ranked. The reason I say that is because I cannot tell you how many times about 2 months ago, a month ago, I was literally seeing it every day on my Twitter feed about the same thing. People saying 3 stacks here and I'm solo queuing. I shouldn't be playing against 3 stacks, all of this stuff. So I think that's going to probably be the direction that they take in fixing this, and they're not going to actually change any things in the analytical system. In my opinion, it'll probably just be 3 stacks and solo queuers, which honestly is fine with me. I think that's a great start and a great way to try first, and if that doesn't work, obviously we can go further, but I think that's the main issue they need to tackle first. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about skill-based matchmaking. I know so many of you are going to have different and mixed opinions. I'm interested to see what you guys have on ideas that could fix skill-based matchmaking. I know I gave you guys mine. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with me, and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for some more Apex Legends daily content like this, and I will see you all in the next video.
You guys know the drill. It's vibe or die up in here, baby. Let's go.
I'm so weird.
Later.